Bappa Rawal.
Social media made you all way too comfortable with disrespecting people and not getting punched in the face for it. Mike Tyson said, as real as he could be, in today's society, it applies to everything from personal to controversial matters on the internet. Same goes for history, talking trash about someone who actually sacrificed himself for his land and leader, whichever side he's on, whether it's Shivaji Maharaj and Tamji Malusare, Alauddin Khilji and Zafar Khan, or even Sadashiv Rao and Ibrahim Khan Gardi. Throughout the history of India, Rajputs are always known as its first line of defense, but people on the internet, after not reading the real history, have started blaming Rajputs as losers and even cowards nowadays. So let me introduce you to the greatest Rajput king that has ever lived, Bappa Rawal. Bappa Rawal was born in 713 CE, was the 8th ruler of Gehlot or Guhilot dynasty and the founder of Mewar dynasty in present-day Rajasthan. Name meaning of Bappa is Bapu, like Mahatma Gandhi. His real name was Kalbhoj, but getting inspired from his great work for humanity and for the country, conferred the title Bappa, a father figure to all Rajputs and even all Hindus. The Gehlot Sisodia clan of Mewar describes their descendants from Ikshwaku Kshatriya clan of India, often known as Suryavanshi or the Solar dynasty. It is said by historical experts that Bappa Rawal's ancestry claims to be the 80th descendant of Lord Rama himself. Gehlot Sisodia clan always use the words Rao, Rana or Raval rather than the Sanskrit words Raja or Rajan. The etymology of the words Ra, Rai, Rao or Rav comes from the Persian word Ray. Other may refer it to as Rai. Bappa Rawal was the most powerful and eminent ruler of the Mewar dynasty.
That was a long explanation just to get to his name. I'm just gonna point that out. That was a lot. The fact that there's so much history in just the name alone.
Or even modern day Rajasthan ever had. Although Bappa Rawal's original name was Kalbhoj, yet he never used this name. Bappa Rawal's father, Rawal Mahendra II, had married a woman of the Parmara Rajput clan from Mount Abu. Bappa Rawal's mother was also the sister of Man Mori, the Parmara king who ruled much of the state of Mewar. King Mahendra II ruled from the town of Nagada in the southwestern sector of Mewar. However, he was impious and inactive in his kingdom's affairs and unfortunately, in 716 CE, he was assassinated. His son, Prince Kalbhoj, was only 3 years old then, and it is from then the legend of Bappa Rawal began. Bappa Rawal is said to have spent his childhood near a place called Nagada. Nagada is a site of ancient ruins. Founder of Mewar, Bappa Rawal had made Nagada his first capital. Bappa was married to Kokila, daughter of Raja Chandra Singh of this place. Iltutmish destroyed it in later 1210 CE. After this attack, people left this place and moved to Ahar or Dhulakota near Udaipur. Nagada or Naghrida has been mentioned in the Jain literature Tirthmal Chaitya-Vandana. Nagada was founded by Nagas. Its ancient name was Naghrida. It gets its name from Naga plus Dahan, meaning burning of Nagas. It signifies the struggle between Aryans and the Nagvanshis here, in which a large-scale massacre of Nagas took place. Mewar's kingdom was an example of valor, bravery, courage, just. The main reason for this is because their first founder was like Kalbhoj. Here all kings followed the older king's law. Eventually, around the age 21, he succeeded his father Rawal Mahendra II. Some ancient chroniclers suggested the year was 734, and the Bappa Rawal captured the capital immediately. However, there is evidence that he was 21 when he became the king and quite a lot occurred before that. Thus it is more likely the year was 731 CE, when he went to Chittor and at an age of 18 years old only. It is said that he arrived in the town below the fort where a fair was in progress, and there he performed a fight that awed Man Mori and the Parmara nobles. Bappa Rawal played an important role in the Battle of Rajasthan. In the 8th century, Arab Muslims started attacking India within a few decades of the birth of Islam. Some background on the caliphates first. After the death of Prophet Muhammad, the founder of Islam, Islam spread over the Middle East we know it today. After which, Rashidun Caliphate completely destroyed both Sassanid Persian Empire and took modern-day Egypt from Byzantine Roman Empire in the Middle East. Succeeding the Rashidans, Umayyad Caliphate after it expanded quickly over the east and western directions, in the process conquering Spain in Europe, Morocco in West Africa, Afghanistan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, and parts of Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan, respectively.
That's funny. He does so much information. He's like basically saying, "Oh, this, basically everything, basically everything." But instead of that, he's just like naming everything, and then underneath, oh, they basically had everything. Oh my gosh, yeah, it's way too quick. Way too. I kind of want to slow it down. I have it on normal speed, but I kind of want to slow it down even more because he's just like shooting everything out, shotgun speed, and then every single image itself that he has pop up, there's like artwork and then like pieces, historical pieces, and it's just like there's so much there.
In the east of Central Asia, God gave some great men to Rajasthan, especially the names of Gurjara Pratihar Samrat, Nagbhat I and Bappa Rawal are notable. Nagbhat I drove the Arabs out of the western Rajasthan and Mewar. Bappa did the same thing for Mewar and its surrounding regions, but achieved many great conquests as well as in the Arabic lands. Muhammad bin Qasim was an Arab military commander of the Umayyad Caliphate who led the Muslim conquest of the Indian subcontinent and was able to defeat Raja Dahir Singh and take over Sindh, which is now in Pakistan, after numerous battles. Both Raja Dahir Singh and his daughters died in the war, and 20,000 Hindu girls were sold as sex slaves in Damascus. Bin Qasim proceeded his invasions in the subcontinent further till Gujarat. Interestingly, last Hindu king of Sindh, Raja Dahir Singh, actually had given refuge to Imam Hussein's grandchildren. Now, who was Imam Hussein, you ask? Imam Hussein was the grandson of the Prophet Muhammad himself. His grandchildren were massacred by their own people, Umayyad caliphs, and were actually given refuge by a Brahmin Hindu king. There's a very famous quote in India, Pran jai par vachan na jai, meaning never renege on one's promise, even if it may risk one's life, which was followed by Raja Dahir Singh and every Rajput king, as well as he sacrificed himself and his kingdom for the protection of Prophet Muhammad's descendants, ironically whose own people were ready to terminate the latter one. To save Mewar from a similar terrible disaster, Bappa Rawal quickly united all Rajput kings from Mewar and Nagada with the motivation of protecting Dharma, knowing what would happen to all the women and Hindu temples in Mewar, and defeated Bin Qasim through Saurashtra in present-day Gujarat, thus re-establishing Hindu rule in Gujarat once again and pushing him back to the western banks of Sindhu river. He didn't stop there and pursued Bin Qasim to Balochistan in modern-day Pakistan. He then marched on to Ghazni in present-day Afghanistan and defeated the local ruler Salim, winning Kandahar also in the process, also in Afghanistan, and after nominating a representative, returned to Chittor. Raja Mori named Bappa Rawal his successor and crowned him the king of Chittor. To prevent any further Islamic invasions on the Indian subcontinent, Bappa Rawal didn't wait for the caliphate to attack first, the mentality which 90% of the Hindu kings were lacking after the 11th century. Rather, he and his army invaded various kingdoms, including the province of Khorasan. He then marched on to Turan in Isfahan as a strategic point of view that are present in modern-day central Iran, by making them their vassal states and staying one step ahead of the caliphate by annexing lands which were previously in the hands of Arabic Muslims, where Zoroastrians from Persia were rode off, and way far from this Indian subcontinent. Thus, he not only defended India's frontiers but was also able to expand them, cutting through the lands of the caliphate. Bappa Rawal was also a good friend and companion of the greatest of all, Lalit Aditya Muktapid. Well, that's a spoiler for the next video. The town that developed under Bappa Rawal was called appropriately Eklingji, after Lord Shiva. The town was later renamed as Kailashpuri. Throughout centuries and even to this day, Rajputs make a regular pilgrimage to the temple. In the present day, the temple is reconstructed and each Monday is a big day for the Shiva's worship. When Bappa Rawal visited the city of Deeg, he married a princess of the ruling clan. While returning with his wife to Chittor, it is said that he had also brought a statue of god Banmata. He built a temple on the fort's western side and installed the statue that still exists. Some interesting details on the coins during Bappa Rawal's reign. Dr. Gauri Shankar Harichand Ojha agrees that Ajmer's gold coin is considered by Bappa Rawal. On the left side of the coin there is a trishul or a trident of Lord Shiva, and on the right side, a shivling. On the coin, there stands a cow weaning a calf. There is also a sun sign and a roof sign. After all above details, we can say that Bappa Rawal was a powerful and the supreme ruler of Mewar. He was also known to be a just loving ruler. After having ruled his kingdom for almost 20 years, he abdicated the throne in the favor of his son, became a devout of Shiva as an upasak, and became a yati, meaning an ascetic who has full control over his passions, and died in 810 CE at an age of 97. My personal opinion: Hindu kings are always blamed for never being able to cross Indus, and forget about defending. They were never able to even strike first to any Islamic invader, whereas 8th century India was full of proud and successful Indian invasions on the Islamic caliphates to prevent India being subjugated by the Islamists. Vikramaditya II, the Chalukyan king of today's Karnataka, Lalitaditya Muktaped of Kashmir, Yashovarman of Kannauj, Nagbhat I of Gujarat, and last but not the least, Bappa Rawal of Mewar, were the greatest Hindu kings who not only defeated the invaders but also crossed the Indus when needed in order to prevent any further invasions for next 500 years into the subcontinent. Half a millennium, that's a lot if I'm being honest. Although unity and strike first policy has lost its significance and entire meaning in India and is still missing currently on a large scale, but let's not forget the great conquests of Hindu kings which was erased from the history back to back. Fun fact: the famous city of Pakistan, Rawalpindi, was named after Bappa Rawal because of his well-established military base on the land. Maharana Pratap, Maharana Kumbha, Rana Sanga are some of his popular descendants who later came to know as the greatest Rajput freedom fighters ever. I hope you guys like my video. Like, share the video as much as you can, and subscribe to the channel for more history.
For more history. Gosh, that's funny because it's like India's always known as, oh, they don't attack. They always just focus on defense. They don't ever do that. And it's just like, oh, well, at this point in time, in this century, people seem to forget that India attacked and prevented 500 years of slaughter and invasion. Yeah. I mean, it's yeah. Great video. Way too quick and too much information, but at the same time, it's great that way because it's just all thrown at you in one go. All thrown at you in one go. I freaking enjoyed that. Yeah, I need to subscribe. But yeah, I mean, because that's the thing. It's like I always hear about, oh, India doesn't attack. India doesn't attack. They always work in defense. They always do defense. They never attack. That's why something like the strategic strike, things like that, is considered rare, where it's like, oh, it's a preemptive attack to prevent their assault because we know this is going to happen. But it's like, yeah, it was the invasion, eradicating Muslims in order to prevent 500 years of no invasion. It's like, okay, that's a lot. But yeah, I like that. Yeah, bro, when you would watch that series, you will know about the rules of war and all things but which the Islamic invaders don't follow. So after some time, the Indian king's states starts to retaliate. Yeah, I mean, eventually you have to. Well, there are some things you should never do, but they still happen. Like, in war, women get the worst treatment. They get the worst treatment. I mean, sure, the guys can be killed and tortured, but women are the ones that are basically become a commodity. No matter where you are in the world, that becomes a fact. That just becomes the way it is. Whether there have been U.S. soldiers who have been incarcerated for that. There have been soldiers every war, every time period. It happens. It's disgusting. It's heinous. But you are right that there are some which it's encouraged. Some aspects where it's like, oh, it's inhuman. It doesn't matter. It's okay. Like how that other person was trying to view, like before, was basically saying, oh, after they go for this, they're going to go for these people because apparently they assume that people assume they're not human beings. Everyone's a human. Everyone should be given respect and heard. But there are people who purity test and refuse to accept. I mean, what was it? There's the video where I was watching about the Turkish, where if the child looked too much like their mother and didn't look like the father, well, the child would be pitched and then they'd try again. I mean, how disgusting is that? How disgusting is that? And that kind of stuff still happens to this day. I'm not going to say it doesn't. A war is a nasty place where things happen, which is honestly why I feel like women should not be in the armed forces. Just imagine a woman being on base in like Afghanistan or in just somewhere, and then it gets raided. What do you think's going to happen to that female soldier? I mean, I don't have to say everyone knows what's going to happen.
You guys get a video? It's so bad.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Why is like that?